If the casualty has suffered a cardiac arrest, raise the alarm so that others know there is an emergency, and there will be help on the way. If there is someone else with you, start performing CPR immediately, while your colleague raises the alarm and prepares the AED. This way, things will get done faster, which is essential with a sudden cardiac arrest. If you are alone and an AED is not immediately available, raise the alarm and start CPR, compressing the chest 30 times before delivering 2 rescue breaths that should be no longer than 1 second. If an AED is immediately available, attach the pads before beginning CPR. In order to do this, open or cut through the casualty's clothing to get access to their bare chest. If there is any hair, shave it. Most AEDs come with a razor or scissors so that you can get the pad directly onto the skin. Look for signs of implanted devices, such as a pacemaker. The AED's pads should not be placed over the top of any implanted device, but the AED is safe to use if someone has a pacemaker fitted. Remove any metal jewellery or accessories you see. If the casualty is wearing a bra that has underwire in it, take it off, as it will conduct electricity. Dry off the casualty if they are wet, and if there is water in the immediate area, move them to a dry place. AEDs are safe to use on a slightly wet or metal deck, but it's important you make sure there is no trail of water between you and the casualty. There is a chance of arcing from the AED, so move the casualty if there is any risk of explosion from gases, the chemical store, or anywhere else on board. Remove the AED from its case and follow the printed instructions for turning the power on. The AED will then give you verbal instructions to follow. Following the device's audio and graphical instructions,
apply the electrodes to the patient's bare chest.
Peel the pads from their plastic liner. Place 1 pad below the collarbone on the upper right side of their bare chest.
Attach pads to patient's bare chest.
And the other on the opposite abdominal. Any obstruction, such as fabric, will make the AED malfunction. If the pads are not put on properly, the AED may repeat the term, "check electrodes." The machine will then tell you to stand clear of the patient and not touch them while it analyzes the heart rhythm.
Patient. Analyzing. No shock advised.
It will either tell you, "no shock advised," in which case you should begin or continue CPR until you are relieved by more experienced medical personnel, or "shock is advised."
Shock advised. Don't touch patient.
In which case, it will ask you to stand clear while the machine charges. Once it has charged, the shock button will begin to blink.
Flashing shock button.
Press the button to deliver the shock and help restart the heart. Some AEDs don't have a shock button and will automatically deliver the shock, so you need to know which type you have on board. The AED will only give 1 shock at a time. It doesn't last long, but expect the casualty to move due to the force of the shock. The machine will then prompt you to perform CPR for 2 minutes, and then it will reanalyze.
Patient. Analyzing.